Good evening. My name is Jennifer Douglas, and I'm from Charlestown, Rhode Island. I usually come here to testify with facts and numbers and inspirational Roger Williams quotes, but I feel like we've done this so many times, I know you all so well, so I'm sharing a personal story instead. I have 2 children, and in order to have these 2 children, I suffered through 2 very difficult, horrible pregnancies. I had hyperemesis gravidarum that kept me in the hospital off and on for months. I developed preeclampsia, which sent my blood pressure dangerously high, kept me on bed rest. I developed fluid around my heart, around my lungs. My kidneys were in danger of shutting down, and my legs were so swollen with fluid that they actually wept when I walked. I had fluid pouring out of my legs through the skin. After my second child was delivered sick and premature and with a host of long-term physical limitations due to my condition, my obstetrician gave me choices. She told me that if I wanted to have another child, she would support me in any way possible, but she also told me that I would need to think very long and hard about it because she was afraid the next baby would kill me, and I agreed. So my partner and I did everything right. He had a vasectomy, so we would have permanent birth control. I grew stronger, my kids flourished. Many months later, I became concerned when my blood pressure became elevated, when I became sick all the time. And wouldn't you know, we were one of the less than 1% where vasectomy failed and I was pregnant again. And this time, we were even more shocked when we discovered that it was a non-viable fetus with genetic abnormalities that were deemed incompatible with life. And I was lucky because my OBGYN was able to get me right into the hospital, perform a DNC, and do a tubal ligation so this would never happen again. I can't imagine what would have happened to me if she had told me that I had to carry this fetus to term. Knowing how sick I would be, knowing that I'd be able to not care for my children, to be on bed rest, to be hospitalized for months, only to deliver a baby that would either be dead or die within hours. Knowing that there was a better than good chance that I would die along with the baby and leave my 2 healthy children that I had at home without a mother. And a decade later, I'm still struck with fear every time I think about what would have happened to me if I lived in a pre-Roe era where I did not have a society where I was afforded this choice. And I'm here tonight so nobody else has to imagine that. My story is tragic, but the tragedy of it is not the fetus that was lost. The tragedy is that there are people here speaking tonight who preach about morality, they preach about murder, and the people who are trying to impose their personal beliefs on the rest of us. Religious leaders who are in the utmost show of hypocrisy make it a point of pride that they would be perfectly happy to have me die in order to save the life of a fetus, a baby, that would never live to see outside the walls of a NICU. That to me here is the real tragedy in this room. I love being a parent, and I'm thankful every single day that I had the choice to be here and exist, to save my own life in order to be with my children, to love my children fiercely, and to love them well, to dedicate my entire life to caring for good, sweet little humans who are going to change things in this world. What are we doing as a society if we're telling women they don't deserve a basic human right? I do encourage all of you to choose life. The lives of women like me, whose stories that you're hearing right now, because we matter too. Thank you very much for your time, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, the
Senator
comment, the comment is 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people, which are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then I'll hear from heaven. I'll forgive their sin and I'll heal their land. The hypocrisy that you're talking about is when the creation puts their agenda ahead of the creator, and that's where we come into trouble. Thank you, Madam Chair.